Hello everybody, this is Bob Niederman, and I'm inviting you to join us in Breaking Through in NVC. It starts October 15th. Let me tell you just a little bit about what the purpose of this class is. You see, one of the things I've found in working with people for a very long period of time is that we're kind of separated. One of the ways I like to think about it is that we have two parts of our mind. On one part of our mind, we can be very peaceful and calm and mindful. We can be thoughtful. We can be empathic. You know, when I first started working with empathy buddies, it was really wonderful. I could be very empathic, very tuned into myself and the other person when I was having an empathy conversation. Wow, it's so easy, so smooth, it worked perfectly. But then, when I got home and I tried to do this with people I was living with, I didn't get the same response. It was different. I wanted things, they wanted things, and for some reason, even when I tried to be empathic, they thought I was being like pulling this NVC shtick on them. Okay? So it didn't work so well. Why not? What was going on? Why does it work so well when I'm having an empathy buddy, but maybe not so well with other people? Then when I started to work with people more deeply, I found a certain interesting pattern. One was that when people are in a calm and collected mood, empathy comes out of them very easily. But when they're in an agitated mood, when they're cross, when they're upset, then it's really hard for them to get in touch either with themselves or with other people. So I developed this kind of thought pattern, which is kind of like that we live on two islands. One is this island of being calm and mindful, in which we are in touch with our empathy. And then there's this other island in which we're agitated, we're upset. Now when we're agitated and upset, we can't even remember being mindful. We don't care about being mindful. We just care about being upset. We're stuck being upset, and we have a hard time remembering what being calm was all about. You see, there's no bridge. There's no bridge between the islands. And what I want to do in this course is to create this bridge, so that when you're agitated, you have a definite bridge with a signage, so you know exactly how to pull your wisdom and your mindfulness from your calm state into your agitated state, so it can be transformed and pull yourself back together again and bring the wisdom of your life together, so that you no longer have to act out your agitation. Let me give you an example of what I mean by that. I saw a couple not too long ago, and they said, you know, one of the concerns that we have is that we're both pretty intense, and when the woman gets a little irritated, the man gets a little irritated, then the woman gets more irritated, the man gets more irritated, and they kind of jockey back and forth until pretty soon they're having an argument, which they didn't want to have. Yeah. So I asked the woman, and says, okay, well, tell me a little bit about that. What do you feel like when you're getting ramped up like this? She said, well, I feel irritated, I feel anxious, I feel a little scared. I feel protective of my children. I don't want my children to go through hearing arguments between the two of us. I said, okay. Then I asked the man, what do you feel when this is going on? And he says, I don't feel anything. I said, okay. You don't feel anything? No, I don't feel anything. I said, well, in this one instance you're talking about, well, did you have any feelings? No, I don't feel anything. I just said I'm not going to drive. Okay. And when you said, I'm not going to drive, did you have any feelings? No, I just told her I'm not going to drive, that's all. Well, were you a little irritated? He said, well, I was a little irritated. Okay, a little irritated. Because you didn't want to drive? Is that the reason? No, I was irritated because, she was treating me bad. Okay, well, what do you mean by that? Well, she was like treating me like I was some kind of wild animal, something like that. And if she's going to treat me like I'm a wild animal, I'm going to act like a wild animal. I said, oh, it sounds like you were maybe pretty angry. Well, yeah, I was really angry. Yeah. You were really angry. Maybe you were like irate. Yeah, I was irate. Yeah. And what did you want? Well, I don't know what I wanted. You talked a little bit about that for a while, and finally you said, well, I want unconditional love. Oh, okay. So you want unconditional love. Yeah, I want unconditional love. Yeah. But you're not getting it. No, I'm not getting it. She's treating me like I'm a wild animal. Yeah. So you want unconditional love, you're not getting it, and you get irritated, you get upset. So I'm wondering, right in that moment, right at that very moment when you get so upset, I'm wondering if you can bring just a little mindfulness into that moment, like just a little bit of awareness of, wait a second, what is it that I want right now? Oh yeah, what I want is unconditional love. Can I remember right at that moment, right at the moment when you're really angry, can you remember, I want unconditional love? That's what I really want. Yeah, if I could only get that, I could feel good. So I asked him that question. He seemed a little bewildered. But it made him think. He said, maybe I could do that. Maybe I could start thinking about what it is I really want, rather than reacting to her. Okay, this is what we're going to practice. We're going to practice getting totally into those moments when we're completely irate, when we're on this island of agitation, and we're going to build that bridge over so that even then, in the worst possible moments, you can open up and let in some mindfulness and shift the conversation and shift your state of mind. That's what we're going for. Please join us.